What is something common that has never happened to you? I'm almost 29 and I've never been stung by a bee, wasp, hornet, etc. I'm 30 years old and I've never had a wet dream. Edit. Boy, I tell ya, if I knew my inbox was gonna get flooded with dudes telling me about their nocturnal emissions, I don't think I would have left a comment. Being invited to a wedding. Everyone always tells me about how I'm so lucky to not go to weddings because of how much they end up spending to attend them, but I'd like to experience it at least once in my life. Apparently I'm not close enough to anyone to be invited. Skeptical smiley face. I don't know if it's common, but a friend expressed surprise when I told him I had never, ever seen hail in person. I know of it, of course, and seen videos and the like, but I've never experienced it myself. Edit. To answer a frequent question, I lived most my life in Virginia, and now live in Delaware. Said friend also lives in Virginia, though further south than I. 24 and never broken a bone or had any fractures. Never been fired from a job, knock on wood. Everyone in this thread is jinxing themselves. Being called for jury duty. I am 40 and my dad and my sister have both been called, but not me. I have never won an award, for anything, ever. In elementary school literally every single person in my class won an award for something except for me. I have never been an employee of the month. I have never been honorably mentioned for anything. While in the service the only ribbons I received were the ribbons the rest of my unit received. While playing sports the only trophies I ever received were the ones the rest of my teams received. Now at my job I have never had any accolades whatsoever. In fact, when I was in kindergarten our teacher made a promise to us that if every child lost a tooth we would get an ice cream party. Best efforts aside, I never lost a tooth in kindergarten and we didn't have a damn ice cream party, because of me. Lol. Edit. Okay, the outpouring of love I received was completely unprecedented to me and something I was ill prepared for. Thank you all so much. Lol, this is crazy. I've never been pulled over or gotten a ticket. I've never gotten a nosebleed. Ever. I've never smoked a cigarette or been sent a dick pic. Edit. And I don't want any. Thanks. Edit 2. Mistakes were made by admitting that to the internet, but any pics will remain Shro Dong Er's pic and will never be opened. Is it a dick? Is it a cigarette? We will never know. Why doesn't anyone offer me free drugs? Lol. Any natural disaster and snowball fights. I am in my 40s and I have never had anyone invite me out for drinks. One night stand or FWB relationship. I've never met any of these hot single women in my area that seem so abundant. Married 36 years. I'm almost the only person I know that's never been divorced. My wife has been divorced 3 times. I've never caught a fish. We would so end hours a day fishing as a kid in summer and for some reason I never caught one. As an adult people have taken me fishing, determined to help me catch a fish. Nothing. I'm 40. It will never happen. Feeling loved by someone other than your family. Never heard, I love you, or, sorry, from my parents. I'm close to 40. Never met a stray kitten that was begging for me to take it home. All of the strays I see are on their way somewhere important. Brain freeze from ice cream, etc. I have no idea what y'all are talking about. Despite living in Scotland and being a white, heterosexual male, I've never played a round of golf. Edit. Whoa. Was not expecting this much of a response. And to the legend who sent me the helpful reward, thank you. I never learned how to drive. I'm 30. 39 straight male and I've never been to a strip club. Holy schnickies, there was a lot of comments on this. I've been invited to go to a strip club many times. Just doesn't seem appealing. Winning a Cards Against Humanity game. Never rented a home or had a roommate. I'm 57 and nobody has ever told me that they're LGBTQ. I have some gay and lesbian friends, but I only know it see somebody else told me. I'm a grizzly, old, redneck-looking motherfucker, so maybe PPL think I'd be hateful. Also, I don't talk about sex, so it isn't likely to come up in a conversation. Kissing a girl. Edit. Answering some questions. I'm 24, I have never tried to before, nor do I really care to that much. I am a busy person and dealing with another human being is tiresome and stressful. Also me, I'm not gay. Never made a post on Reddit or other social media after being on Reddit for 9+ years now. Sleep paralysis. I am thankful and I hope I will never experience that. Had a relationship. I don't understand how they're so common. Didn't get COVID. My girlfriend got it and we isolated together. My boss got it and I didn't, and I worked in retail during that time. 21. Never broke a bone, never have a fracture. I never had a pen explode or leak in my hand. I've never had to serve on a jury. I'm terrified of the responsibility you may hold in deciding a stranger's fate, so touch wood I can keep this streak up. I dunno is appendicitis or tonsillitis is common. But I never had any of that. Let's keep it that way. Never really had the pleasant surprise of finding forgotten money, weed laying around the house. I just always know where that stuff is. Happens to my friends all the time though. I am 45 and I've never changed a baby's diaper. And hopefully never will. Found a boyfriend-free girl in my never-ending love quest. I'm 25 and I've never gone on a date with anyone. Early 40s, never seen a Star Wars movie. I've never masturbated or eaten a Big Mac. I'm 31. I've never shit myself. Edit for the silly people in my life since I've been potty trained. I have never had a one-night stand. Every man I ever got jiggy with was one I knew and felt a connection to. A girlfriend told me to try a one-night stand, but I will not. I watch too many true crime docs. I never learned how to swim. I can't float. Never puked due to excessive drinking. The latter happened a few times, but it always stayed down. Hangover diarrhea is just marginally better though. Never took a puff on a cigarette. Never got the appeal. Never been divorced. Married only once, widowed 24 years ago, and never remarried. Never punched anybody nor got punched by anybody. Never participated in a fight of any sort, not even as a kid, teenager. 47 yo, fairly muscular and otherwise normal, male. Never been to Disney. Side note, I live in Florida. I live in Indiana, and I've never personally seen a tornado. They happen in my area at least a couple times a year. I even lived in a mobile home for a couple years. Having a relationship. At least one that lasts more than a month. 42. F. Never been married. Haven't been divorced either, so there's that. Getting a lot of body hair on e.g. my chest. Ultimately I'm extremely happy with the lack of that. I'm 18 and I have never tried Pepsi, Coca-Cola, or any soft drink. Never had a drink. Yes, I'm an adult way above 21. Just never got the appeal. For reference, I am 21 years old. I'll make a list, as I can't decide. 1. I've never been stung by a bee. 2. Never set foot on a plane. 3. Never actually been on vacation. The closest thing was class trips. 4. No broken bones, as far as I'm aware. 5. I have haphophobia, so I've never kissed anyone. 6. Due to lack of interest, I've never been in a romantic relationship. 7. I have never been drunk. 8. Never drove a car that was part of an accident. I did experience one when I was 2, though, and 2 bus accidents over the last couple years. 9. I don't think I've ever seen any sort of natural disaster in person, though in my case, that's not likely to happen anyway. Germany's usually pretty tame. That's all I can think of right now, anyway. I have thankfully never been catcalled, sexually harassed, raped or anything like that. I'm certainly grateful for that, and man, I feel for the people who have had crap like that happen to them. I know this won't be seen with 11.6k responses, but I'm 52 and have never been on Facebook or changed a diaper. Edit. It took someone about 30 seconds to upvote. You have my gratitude and hope you have a great weekend. Edit. My thanks to everyone who saw this. Spent the night with Mrs. Mama by the fire with a dram of bourbon. We're not tech savvy, she's blind from a retinal disability, but we have an awesome life and only once had plus 100 upvotes. Know that life is amazing whatever you do. Love every day and all y'all. Don't waste one moment on haters or anyone who wants to bring you down. Love you and all the one you are with. Be strong, life is all you want and you have more people rooting for you than you know. We do. Thanks again, honey. 22 here and never was in a club, concert. I'm 25 years old and have never been conned. Getting the side effects of the COVID vaccine. Never see my grandfather as he died before my birth. I've never licked an owl. I assume most people do daily, but I've never been lucky enough to have one land on my nose. Parents giving you money. Never got field trip money, never got bookstore money, no allowance growing up. No help along the way. I was invited to a concert tomorrow, my first since 2019. I have to skip it because I've no funds after bills. Sure wish I could call mom or dad and ask for a $100 spot for never being there. My mom's grandparents died years ago, she got $200,000. Mine just passed, trust we're estranged, but didn't see none of it. Mid-30s, grew up in a rural area and spent a big chunk of my life wandering around in all sorts of woodlands and fields. Never had to remove a tick. Some of my friends got 'em almost daily. Never failed a class test amazingly. Knock on wood. Mid-60s in age, have never been under anesthesia or had surgery. I've also never received a love letter lol, but I'm only 40 and recently in a wheelchair. Which I hear is a huge turn on. So, I figure in time, there's still hope. I was never asked out in high school between 9600, not even to prom sad face. Never had an antibiotic edit. I'm in the US and just turned 40. Sure, maybe I had one as a baby or when I ate meat. I've only had one prescription in my life and never took it, Vicodin for wisdom teeth removal. Didn't think not having an antibiotic was so uncommon. TW, suicide. I've never known anyone who has ended their own life, thankfully. I'm 20 years and I never blacked out. Never been offered drugs by a stranger as I was told would happen regularly as a child. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and liking. Any feedback in the comments would be greatly appreciated so that we can make these videos even better. Thanks for watching Upvote Stories.